Welcome to the Membership Guys podcast. Kick-ass advice and tips for membership site owners.
Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 235 of the Membership Guys podcast, the first episode of the year 2020. That is crazy. 2020. It's the year that pretty much all old science fiction used to use as this way off in the future date. And now I'm recording a podcast episode for 2020. What is going on? Oh my word, I'm feeling this crushing existential crisis. I'm not sure I should continue on with the show, but I'm going to fight through that to bring you a brand new episode, and a very special one, in fact. So as you very well may know, you may be aware of, unless you are a brand new listener, in which case welcome. Last year, probably the biggest highlight of what we did was running our very first live event last September. It was called Retain Live 2019, and it was a 2-day conference entirely focused around growing your membership business. We had some phenomenal speakers like Chris Ducker, Andrew and Pete, Janet Murray, Jess Lorimer, Mark Asquith, Diana Tower, and Amy Woods. I think I've named them all. But in addition to that, both myself and Callie hit the stage several times. So we delivered the opening keynote, and I actually gave you guys a taste of that about 4 or 5 weeks ago here on the show. But we also dotted in amongst all the expert speakers that we had. We delivered what we called quick win sessions. So these were shorter, kind of 10 to 15 minute long, highly specific, highly tactical talks in which we gave some real practical actionable tips on everything from sales to onboarding, retention, cancellations, that sort of thing. So I thought a great way to start the year off and to celebrate this brand new year 2020 was to actually share with you one of those talks that we did. So this was a quick win session that I did on simple sales and marketing tactics that every membership site owner should try out, should explore. So some of these things you might already be doing. Some of it might sound obvious, although, it's usually the obvious stuff that we find out that people hadn't thought of because they get a little bit too carried away with the really overcomplicated, overly complex sales funnel stuff that they miss the low-hanging fruit, and that's something I talk about. But this is a real good session that gives you, I think there was a total of 9 different marketing tactics that you can start using today in order to drive new members to your membership. So we pulled the audio from that session, and we're going to be sharing it with you on today's episode. Now, recordings from all the sessions at Retain Live are exclusively available to the people who came to the event and to members of Membership Academy. Throughout December and throughout this month of January, we're releasing all of those recordings from our sessions, from our speakers, the Q&A panels. They're all going into Membership Academy. So if you enjoyed today's episode and you want to catch all the other talks, then head over to membershipacademy.com to check those out. But for now, we're going to switch over to my quick win session on simple marketing tactics that you can use to attract new members. For our first quick win session, I'm going to share a few real simple sales tactics that you can use for your membership. I'm going to go through these fairly quickly, just little specific things that you can try out, test out, implement, or change in your membership business. Some might be obvious, some might be revelations, some might be stuff you're already doing. Got to start off with the real obvious stuff, the low-hanging fruit. And I always like to make sure I start with this because this is the stuff you would kind of assume you wouldn't have to say, but it's surprising how many people aren't doing it. Most obvious thing, if you're selling a membership, make sure you're actually selling your membership. Like putting it front and center in your navigation bars, on your website, having a nice clear call to action in your social media profiles. There's a lot of internet marketers out there who are popularizing this idea that you shouldn't tell people about your product until they're 10 steps down this multifaceted segmented funnel. Then you reveal your membership. It's nonsense. Sometimes all it takes for people to buy is awareness that you have a solution to their problem. So make sure that you're not hiding your product away. It's incredible how many people do this. Perhaps the lowest of all low-hanging fruit when it comes to your website is the thank you page that someone hits once they've opted into your email list. This is prime real estate. When someone's opted in, they're giving you an indication that they want to learn more from you, that they are choosing you to solve their problems, and so they are going to be more receptive to the solutions you provide that can actually get them to where they want to go quicker, more in depth, covering more aspects of what they need. Now, it can be as simple as purely telling people what they should be doing next. So you've now opted in. First, check your inbox, get this thing you've just got. Next, maybe go to our Facebook group or download another resource, or here's a little bonus or whatever. But then, of course, if you want the best stuff we've got to offer, it's inside the membership. Someone opting in for something is taking the first step in a journey with you. So it would be remiss of you to not tell them what the other steps are. You're doing a service to them by making them aware that a solution exists now. Another good way of using the thank you page, if you want to take it even further, is to make some sort of offer or promotion to lean a little bit harder on these people who've opted in to join your membership. So that might be a free trial, it might be a limited time discount, it might be a bonus. Maybe you want to get them to buy a small standalone product that you can then use to seed them into your membership. Again, something like this, you can take advantage of the fact that sometimes it might take 5 or 10 minutes for the email you've sent to arrive. So your whole angle with this is, while you wait, why not check out this thing? So low-hanging fruit, your thank you page is the lowest of all hanging fruit. Make sure you're making use of this valuable real estate. Second thing I'd encourage you to do is to look at ways in which you can use your membership as a framing device in the free content, the social media messages you're putting out there. So if you're podcasting, you're blogging, you're creating content, use your membership as the context for why this content exists. If you're doing a podcast episode where you're addressing a hot topic in your industry, introduce that topic by saying, this question comes up all the time in our membership community. We've asked our members what the biggest issue they deal with is, and this is what they told us. Use it as the context, the framing device for anything you're putting out there. Because again, sometimes all it requires to make the sale is simply awareness that there is a membership that they can join. This is a way of selling by stealth, of raising that awareness without having to repeat the same old boring sales pitch at the end of every piece of content. It also gives people an insight, an idea of what sort of stuff you're discussing in the membership, what sort of conversations people are having, the level that your member base is at. Make sure anyone who's creating free content using this as a framing device is great. You should also start to develop a daily bragging ritual. Now, I know we're all English and it's not very British to show off or to brag, but we've got to get a little more comfortable with doing it. It's not just bragging about yourself and telling people how amazing you are. You want to be bragging about your members as well. Every positive comment on social, every lovely email you get or testimonial, every person who posts in your forum or Facebook group about a success story or a win or progress they're making, you want to use your platform to showcase them, to shine a light on them, to celebrate them. And of course, vicariously celebrate and brag about the role your membership has helped them in getting to this point. Use your platform to celebrate your members. It's great social proof. And as we said before, you build trust by showing people trust you. Of course, you can still brag about yourself. If people are saying lots of nice stuff about you, don't hide it. Share it out there. Make sure, again, you're raising awareness that you've got the membership, but also that people are seeing other people talking about how great you are. Because, of course, we're all going to go on social and say we're fantastic, but if we can show that other people are saying we're fantastic, it means a lot more. Don't be shy. I'd also encourage you to try using member-first messaging. So when we write stuff on social, when we put stuff out there and we write emails, we tend to do so from the default position where we assume that the recipient is not a member. The person viewing your Facebook post is not a member. So try mixing it up. You're not going to be able to do this for everything, but every now and then try to write your next social media post with the assumption that the person reading is a member by default. All right? That the exception are the people who aren't members. Because if they're following your stuff, if they're seeing your stuff, surely they're fans of yours. And if they're fans of yours, well, obviously they're members, right? What, you're kidding? You're not a member? Again, just trying to bring this in. You're not going to be able to do it for everything. It very much depends on what you're writing. But with something like this, instead of saying, oh, hey, if you were wondering what we do inside the academy, this is what all of our members are going to get. You're writing to the non-member. Write to your members and put it out there publicly. Then the people who see it know that they are missing out. They're on the outside. You get a little bit of FOMO. Next, look at ways in which you can take people behind the scenes. And I mean this in a variety of different ways. First and foremost, behind the scenes videos and tours of your membership are perhaps the best marketing asset that you can have. Because memberships can be difficult to sell. To some people, especially people who aren't accustomed to memberships, they can be a bit of an abstract concept. Because essentially, in a lot of cases, you're selling a big old box of stuff. But you don't have the time to take all the bits out the box and show people how amazing it is. You're not going to be able to capture people's attention long enough for you to really go into all the nitty-gritty of why everything in this box is amazing. So you end up having to focus on what a great box it is. Right? It can be difficult for people to grasp. So show them. Within your email sequences, within your sales funnel, your Facebook advertising campaigns, include behind-the-scenes tours where you show people what's in the box. You walk them through it. This is great for risk reversal as well, because you're actually demonstrating that you're not just a sexy sales page and a clever sales funnel. There's actually substance to go with the style, because not everyone's going to get it. You might take that a little further and do these behind-the-scenes tours live. Janet Murray's done this a few times. It's very, very effective. It means you can actually even maybe bring on some of your members to talk about how great the membership is. And you can answer questions in real time. You can get a bit of buzz going from the fact that you're essentially having an open day for your membership. The behind-the-scenes stuff as well also applies to your day-to-day. If you're running your membership site, you're doing a lot of work. We all put a lot of work in, for the most part, into our membership. We're usually creating content, maybe doing member meetups, doing Q&As, all that sort of stuff. Show people that. Show people what goes into it. If you're about to go live on a little Q&A session with members, grab a little still of you getting ready for it. We do this all the time, and it's kind of my personal mission to just keep topping the standard of terrible shots of me and Callie. This one was particularly special on the left there. Don't know what was going on with Callie. But show people this behind the scenes. They like that insight. They like to see there's a real person going into it. Several of our speakers have spoken about this today. So use the behind the scenes to enable people to get to know you, to get to like you, get to trust you, and again, to give you another way of raising awareness of what your membership offers without having to give out these slick, polished sales pitches. Every single membership should have a cart abandonment strategy. There is no excuse to not have this. If someone hits your checkout page, the shopping cart, and they do not complete that transaction, you need to do everything you can to get them back on track to joining your membership. It is, short of people actually joining, it is the strongest indicator that someone is in a position to buy, and there's just something that hasn't got them there yet. Sometimes that something might just be distraction. They were just about to sign up, and then the phone rang, or their kids got home from school, or there was a funny clip on YouTube that totally threw them. Or maybe their credit card or their debit card was at home. They couldn't remember their passwords for whatever. You need to get these people back, get them back on track to joining your membership. These are your prime potential customers. This is why it's good to use a platform like ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft, ConvertKit, the sort of platforms that enable you to do automation and to trigger a chain of events after someone visits a checkout page, but then doesn't go through with the transaction. You can actually trigger a series of emails that go out to them, even just to say, hey, we noticed you were going to sign up, but you haven't yet. If you're having problems, if you're having any issues, or if you have any questions, hit reply. Just that's something that gives the opportunity for you to perhaps remedy the thing that has stopped them from going through with signing up. Some membership plugins like MemberPress have this built in. Some platforms will have this built in as well. It's also a great way of using Facebook remarketing. You can drop a pixel on anyone who visits your checkout page, but then doesn't visit the thank you page that someone would see when they become a member. Show these people ads specifically addressing the fact that they were on the cusp of joining. Did you forget to check out? We noticed that you were going to join, but something's got in the way. Remember, for us, we remind people of the 30-day money-back guarantee we have, just in case someone's just needs that little bit more risk reversal to give them that added confidence. A couple of tips quickly for reducing the amount of people who actually abandon your cart. First and foremost, take the coupon code off your checkout field, or off your checkout page unless you need it. If you go to a checkout page, a shopping cart, and you see a coupon field, what do you think? That there's some coupons out there. And if you don't have a coupon, what do? You go look for it. And then what's likely to happen when you go look for it, you end up down a rabbit hole, and before you know it, you're answering a friend's trivia quiz on BuzzFeed. It happens. So, take away the coupon field. Also, don't put your pricing on the checkout page if it's not on the sales page. Like, some people hide the price of their membership on their checkout page. So that means anyone clicking through to register, they're not giving you an indication they want to register. 9 times out of 10, they're giving the indication that they just want to bloody know how much your membership costs. And so anything you do in terms of cart abandonment strategy will be less effective because a high proportion of people who actually visited the checkout did so because they were in research mode and not buying mode. As well as cart abandonment, Facebook retargeting is great for targeting people who visited your sales page but didn't come to the checkout. So again, it's just tailoring that message. Hey, we saw that you came, you didn't join. Remember, we've got a guarantee. Watch this behind the scenes video, something like that. So you're meeting them where they are in their buying journey. There's a tactic that I really, really like. It's really cool. Rewarding people for skipping the trial. If you have a free trial or a $1 trial, try bribing people to forego that trial. If the only way to join your membership is by signing up for a 14-day trial and then you become a paying member, actually, a lot of people signing up would have joined regardless of whether the trial was there or not. They were joining because they wanted to join. So you could maybe just nudge them into becoming a paying customer a little sooner. That gets them to a point where they're committed a little earlier. It gets them converted into a paying customer quicker. And it puts money in your pocket earlier as well. So some people would happily get to that point of becoming a paying customer. So consider offering some sort of bonus or some sort of incentive to get them to skip that trial and jump ahead to becoming a paying member. You're not stopping anyone from taking the trial. This is from Digital Marketer. They use this tactic. I love it. They can carry on. If they want that 30-day trial, they can carry on unimpeded. But actually, if they want to activate their account and become a paying customer sooner, they get a couple of little bonuses for doing so. So it's that little bribe to sweeten the pot to encourage people to skip that trial. And finally, for those people who've had subscribers on their email list for a long, long time, they've not yet joined your membership, you've given it all the different approaches, you tried your best shot, and they're still not subscribed to your membership, one way of taking a different angle, a different bite of the apple, is to use what are called splinter products. So these are little part of your membership, individual courses, workshops, bundles of downloads or tutorials that you take from your membership, you package up as a standalone product that is only available for a limited time or whatever, and then you offer those to the people who've been on your list for a long, long time. They've still not joined. It just gives you a way of marketing your product in a different way. You get that laser focus on just being able to talk to those people about this one specific course. And it allows you to take a different approach to try and get them to become a member, to start that commercial transaction, And then once you've got them reinterested by zeroing in on just that one little standalone part of your membership as a product, from that point, you can then potentially upsell them to your membership site. So those are 8 quick, fairly simple tactics, tips that you can look at within your membership. Not all of them are going to be relevant to everyone, but I'd encourage you to try just implementing 1 or 2 of these things. A lot of what we do on the sales front and the marketing front for memberships is iteration and it's testing. So try some of this stuff out, and I'd love to hear how it's moved the needle for you. All right, hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you took plenty of notes and you got a lot out of that session. As I said, these were short, sharp, highly tactical, highly practical sessions, and I'm positive that everyone listening will have been able to pull at least one new thing that you can test out and try within your membership business in order to drive more sales. So if you want more of where that came from, then you want to head over to membershipacademy.com, where we're releasing all of the recordings from Retain Live. So you'll hear from myself and Callie. So again, we did a number of sessions in the same sort of style to the one you've heard today. Plus, talks from Mark Asquith, Chris Ducker, Jess Lorimer, Janet Murray, Amy Woods, Andrew and Pete, Chris Ducker, Jared Falk and Scott Devine. And these are covering everything from upsells and making more money from your existing member base, through to dealing with difficult members in your community, through to repurposing your content, building an audience, offering free trials and a freemium level, so much more. So, you want all of that good stuff and all the other awesome things that the Academy offers, head to membershipacademy.com. We've already released a bunch of the Retain Live sessions during December, and there's more to come in January. That is it from this week. Hopefully you have enjoyed this little taste of the Retain Live conference, and we'll be back again next week with another installment of the Membership Guys podcast. If you enjoyed this week's episode of the Membership Guys podcast, we invite you to check out membershipacademy.com. The Membership Academy is the essential resource for anyone at any stage of starting, growing, and running a membership website. Whether you're still trying to figure out what your idea is going to be, or whether your website is already up and running and you're just looking for ways to grow it and attract new members, then the Membership Academy can help you to get to the next level. With our extensive course library, monthly training, exclusive member-only discounts, perks, and tools, and a supportive, active community to help you along the way with feedback, encouragement, and advice, the Membership Academy is the perfect place to be for anyone looking to start, manage, and grow a successful membership website. Check it out at membershipacademy.com.